Hi guys, I hope you are doing well. In this particular session, we are going to talk about SQL aggregated operators with the help of group by function. So guys, SQL aggregated function are very useful when you are going to summarize the data, and really it is used to perform calculation on set of values, and these particular function basically return a single value. Okay, so for an example, if you are going to count something, or if you are going to take a sum of sales or salary, or if you want to find out average and all, so these particular function will return only a single value. And these functions are commonly used to calculate such as statistics, sum, average, count, minimum, maximum, etc. And these particular operation basically operates on a column of a table. So first of all, let's say if I'm going to talk about what is the use of SQL aggregated function. So basically the SQL aggregated operator summarizing the data in a very meaningful way. So you can compute total, average, count, and lot of things. And basically these particular function are useful also in report generation and reducing the data into a single value for analytics. Okay, so let's understand these particular function in greater details. All right, so guys, here I have displayed the data from the employee DB. So guys, first of all, let's say I want to calculate the total number of rows, okay, in a particular table. So here we can supply select and the count, and I'm using here the asterisk, and I'm saying count of employee. Just an example from the same table employee DB. So when I'm going to run this, here I'm having 20 rows. All right, here I am having 20 rows. But you need to keep in mind, sometimes people are utilizing the same function with the help of one. Okay, and I'm saying, let's say count of employee again from the same table. So this will also give you the same result. All right, so guys, in the count function you can supply anything, right? It could be any number, any string. Just an example, right? As a result from employee DB. So it will give you also the same result. Okay, here you need to provide only a single argument, and that argument could be anything. Interesting. So guys, you need to keep in mind whenever you are using the count, so count basically ignore the null. What is the meaning of it? So for an example, here I have the table, and you can see here we have a department ID where I have null value as well. So when I run this particular line of a statement, so I got 20 record. But more specifically, when I'm going to count the department ID, okay, as a result from employee DB, so it will ignore the null value. So except null value, it will count each and everything. So here I am getting 19 record. Okay, so count function basically ignore the null value. So similarly, I want to calculate the total sum of yearly income. So what I will do, so simple select sum yearly income as total income from employee DB. So here I am having total sum of the year. So sometimes people are utilizing this, let's say 100 plus 200, right, as a result. So here we can also calculate, but without using the sum also, you can do some basic arithmetic calculation like this as a result. So guys, you need to keep in mind count function basically ignore the null value if that column contains some null value. This is the very important query in terms of interview perspective as well. Similarly, we can also calculate, let's say, what is the average yearly income. So simple, here I can supply the average. Okay, so now I am going to write here the average income. Interesting. And similarly, we can find out, let's say, what is the minimum yearly income, okay, for a particular employee. So we can find out as a min income from employee DB. So this is very easy, right? And similarly, we can find out, let's say, if I want to find out max, okay, and so this is my max income. And similarly, I can find out the standard deviation, okay, of my sales, right? So this is my standard deviation. So I can easily calculate the result based on these SQL aggregated function. So guys, right now what I'm doing, I'm going to utilize multiple aggregated function together, okay, in a single query. So let's say select, first of all, I want to count, this is total employee, and I want to find out some yearly income as total income, average of yearly income as again average income. Similarly, I can find out the max. So this is your max income, and minimum income as a min income, and I can calculate the standard deviation as I have calculated above. Yearly income, and I am going to round up to 2 decimal point. So this is standard deviation of yearly income. Interesting. From employee DB. Let me correct this. So when I'm going to run this, so these particular function will return a single value. So here, count of employee, total income, average income, maximum income, minimum income, and this is standard deviation of yearly income. So guys, I hope you understood how we can utilize this particular function. Now let's talk about the group by. So guys, group by function is very useful, and it is organized data into the groups with the help of aggregated function, as we have seen. We can utilize again the same function, sum, count, average, max, min, and some other function as well to perform calculation on each group. So basically, group by is very essential for summarizing the data, such as calculating totals, average, count for a specific group. Okay, so let me give you a couple of examples with the help of SQL aggregated operators in order to understanding the group by. So guys, again, I am going to show you the data. So this is my data set, and here let's say I want to find out grade wise employee count. Okay, so here I am utilizing the count, and this is employee count from employee DB. So guys, look at this. Right now I am not getting any underline as an exception, but whenever I will run this particular statement, so can you read this? Employee DB is my table name, and the column name is grade is invalid in the select list because it is not contained in either aggregated function or group by clause. So guys, keep in mind here. So whatever you are passing a select list. So this is my non-aggregated column. Yes and no? So whatever the non-aggregated column you are passing, or you can say that whatever you are passing except the aggregated function, those column you need to pass within the group by clause. Very simple concept. So here I will have the grade wise count of employee. Let me run this. You can see. Okay, so this thing you need to keep in mind. Similarly, now I am saying I want occupation and grade wise employee count. So what I will do? So the same query. Okay, and here I am going to write my occupation. So how many columns are non-aggregated? So right now there are 2 columns, or you can say that how many columns in your select list? Although we have a 3 column, but occupation and grade is not utilizing with any aggregated function. So here I can supply occupation here as well. So you can change the precedence order. If you want, you can supply the occupation first, then you can go with the grade. So when I'm going to run this, so your output will be based on occupation and grade, right? Let me tell you. So for an example, if you want occupation first, right? And then you are going to find out the grade. So you will able to see there is nothing change in your output. Your output result is based on the precedence order in your select list. So when I'm going to run this, here I'm having this particular output. Interesting. Similarly, now let me change the data set. Okay, now I want to utilize the data from the Superstore. Very simple concept. Interesting. Now guys, if I want to find out reason and category wise sales matrix, okay, and I want to exclude some specific technology, let me tell you. So let's say I want select reason and category. I want to round my sum of sales up to 2 decimal point, and this is my total sales. Okay, similarly, let's say I want to add my average as well. So again, round average of sales up to 2 decimal point as average sales. I want to count how many employee I have. So this is, you can say that total count, and whatever the column you want, you can supply. Similarly, I want to find out max of sales. I'm writing, universal query to understand this. So max of sales. Similarly, I want to find out min of sales. Simple as min sales from Superstore, right? Category. Okay. Now, so whatever the column I want, I have supply. So here I have supply, reason and category in my select list, which are non-aggregated column. So I will be utilize here group by reason and category. That's it. Now let me run this. So guys, here you can see I have a reason, category, total sales, average sales, total count, max sales and minimum sales. Let me sort the data with the help of reason. So here I am sorting the data set. Now guys, in case if I want to exclude any specific category, so I can utilize the where clause. So I will be utilize the where clause before the group by. So here the category not equal to technology. So when I'm going to run this, so my technology will be excluded from the result. So you can see here. Interesting. I hope you understood this particular query. Now I am going to derive some more query from the existing one. So let's say, now tell me, we can filter the record based on the total count using where clause. So the same query I want to utilize, and now I want to filter based on total count. So it means I want to find out the total count which are greater than 500. Okay, so see here what people are doing. So they are directly writing total count greater than equal to 500. So right now this is the invalid approach to filter the record based on the total count. Why? Because guys, total count is derived from the SQL aggregated function, and those SQL aggregated function we cannot utilize in the where clause. So you can see that total count is basically derived based on the count function. Okay, now let me run this so you will able to understand. So here I am getting invalid column name total count. So guys, using where clause, we cannot filter the data from a column if that column is derived from the aggregated function. Okay, so in where clause, we cannot use the aggregated function. So sometimes people are saying, okay, no, this is wrong. Instead of count, can you supply the count asterisk? Here I am not getting any exception. So guys, again, this is also a invalid approach or invalid query. So let me run once again this query. So guys, you can see here an aggregated may not appear in the where clause unless it is in a subquery contained in a having clause or select list. So guys, what is the meaning of this particular error? So guys, the condition total count greater than equal to 500 or count asterisk is greater than 500 is an invalid query. Let me tell you why. So can you see here? So total count, right, is calculated using the aggregated function, which is count. So guys, are you understanding why this count is showing invalid column? It is showing the invalid column here because group by is not executed. I can utilize the total count when group by executed successfully. Okay, so when I'm going to run this particular query, group by not in picture. So how we can group the data based on the total count? Okay, so you need to keep in mind here total count is not available at this time when the where clause is evaluated. So in simple term, where clause is used to filter the rows before grouping. Interesting. So where clause is not evaluated before group by, so total count is not yet available at this state because till this part group by is not in picture. Interesting. So instead of such condition, we can utilize the having clause, which is evaluated after the aggregation. All right. How to apply the having clause? What does having clause? We will be learn in the next session. Okay. And guys, one more time, SQL group by is very essential for summarizing the data, such as calculating totals, averages, or count for a specific group. With the help of group by, we can identify the patterns, comparing subset, or we can filter the record with the help of having clause. And guys, use of SQL group by basically in report generation. So we can generate sales report, financial summaries, customer insight, trend analysis, and operational reports. All right. So for now, guys, you need to utilize these query and understand what does each query and its flow. And in case if you encounter any issue, please let me know in the comment box. For now, thanks for watching and have a great day.